The compensation plan is kind of important. Right? And like Dr. Chi said, I've had the opportunity to come to Jevita. I remember looking at the compensation plan and looking at it and saying, wow, this is unbelievably lucrative. But I don't know really how lucrative it is until I actually hit the ground running. So when I got started in October 15th of 2014, I knew it was lucrative, but I didn't realize how. And as Dr. Chi said, I was with another company for 11.5 years, and I'll tell you how lucrative this comp plan is. What took me 11.5 years to create a residual income, I was able to replace in 4 months with Jevita. Wow. Now, this same opportunity is here for you. The only difference is you just have to really be able to know what you're doing. So I'm going to go through the compensation plan because I believe this is the most important subject matter for us all. Because this compensation plan is going to allow us to literally change not only our lives, but our families' lives. And you know, my mentor used to tell me, he said, you know, money's not everything, but money ranks up there with oxygen. And he said, let me ask you a question. He goes, when you go to a restaurant, do you order from the left side or the right side? And I said, what do you mean, like appetizers and like main entrees? He goes, no, do you order from the left side or the right side? You know what 95% of us do when we go to a fancy restaurant? We order from the right side. Because the right side is where all the what is? The price is. It's like, oh, I really want lobster. Oh, well, the catfish is okay. Right? So, our goal is to basically understand this compensation plan. I hope today that my time with you guys, help you understand what you have in front of you. See, there's some danger and opportunity for us. Here's the danger and opportunity if you don't already realize this. The danger of opportunity is recognizing you're in the opportunity. See, some of you are going to be involved in Jevita today and not recognize where you sit today in this opportunity. You're not going to recognize the financial ability that this company can use to create whatever goals you want. And some of you may actually quit this business today and rejoin Jevita 5 years from now. And here's the one thing you're going to say. You know what? I didn't realize when I got started back in 2014, 2015, I didn't realize it. And that 5 years could literally be the difference of you going Black Diamond in 2 years or Black Diamond in 10 years. That simple decision that we've already been kind of hitting on this whole weekend so far. So let me kind of go through this compensation plan with you. And let's see here. All right. So, our competitive advantage. There's a major competitive advantage in our industry. Not all compensation plans are created the same. I was with the company for 11.5 years. The compensation plan was nothing like it is here in Jevita. The average person can come in and absolutely kill this business. And see, don't make the mistake that you think that every single one of your members wants to make $20,000 per month, because that is not true. The average person can see themselves making $500. See, the average person, when you do a home-based business presentation, you start talking about the compensation plan, we get so quickly to tell people, oh, you can make 10, 20, you should see what Dr. Chi makes, you should see what Ms. Gephardt makes, or Mr. Tom Bowman, oh my gosh. Do you realize that most people can never fathom making $20,000 per month working from home on a part-time schedule? People can't relate to that. They can't relate to that kind of stuff. But agree or not, the average person can understand how to make $500. They can see themselves making $500. The question is do you know how to explain to them how to make $500? Do you yourself know how you're going to make $500? See, that's the thing that we need to understand, that is we are business owners. My mentor used to always tell me, if you treat this like a business, it responds like a business. If you treat this like a hobby, it's going to respond like a hobby. How many of us would agree that hobbies don't pay real well? Right? Business opportunities. This is a business. You treat it like $1 million business, guess what? This is going to respond like $1 million business. People always go, oh my gosh, how much have you made in your first year? I said, yeah, because when I came in, I treated this like $1 million business. Right. I treated this like I spent $500,000, not $500. Right. Because if you treat it that way, you'll do things that normally you will not do if it's $500. The worst thing you could ever say is, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to give this a try. If you do that, you're dead in the water. Why? Because you gave yourself an exit. So you have to understand that you have something unbelievable in your hands. That whether you sitting here today, whether you want to make $500 a month, or you are sitting here today and you say, you know what? My family deserves to make $40,000 a month. You're at the right place at the right time. Yeah. You just have to realize you're there. So let's talk about, first thing about this, you have to learn it because it'll motivate you. Whoops. Because if you know, agree or not, if you just made $150,000+ this year, agree or not, are you motivated? Yeah. Would you agree that if you know it, you can also teach it? Yeah. See, you can't teach what you don't know. That's why many of us work jobs all the time. We work jobs because our parents taught us to go work a job. Our parents work jobs. Our parents went to school, got a job. That's why you went to school and you're getting a good job. See, you're not a millionaire because your parents didn't want you to be, because you're not a millionaire because your parents couldn't teach you how to be a millionaire. So you can't teach what you don't know. So one of the things you have to do is you have to understand that it starts with you. You have to learn it, because once you learn it, then you can teach it. If you can teach it, it's going to motivate you, and if you can teach it, it's going to motivate your team. See, the one thing that you want are a bunch of motivated people. And yes, the product is unbelievable. Yes, we are changing people's lives. But agree or not, the world revolves around money. People look at money as an opportunity for them. Whether it's to better their lives, get them out of their situation, or change things that are in their surroundings, money is going to do that. And yes, it's not everything, but agree or not, if you're having a bad day with no money, it's different than having a bad day with money. Right? So, for us, yeah, it's not everything, but guess what? It's something that we need. Okay? So what's your financial destination? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? See, what you should do is, what I do with a lot of my members? I ask them this: how much do you want to make? You know what some people actually say? I don't know. Like maybe 500? Maybe. Like maybe 500? Well, why'd you get involved? To hang out with us? How much do you want to make? Here's what I want you to do today. At the top of that presentation, because you have all these slides, at the very top, I want you to write down right now how much you want to make. And then I want you to put ×2 next to it. Let me tell you why. Because the number you put down is going to be a comfortable number. ×2 is going to make you uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you will stretch. You will do things that you will normally not unnecessarily do, because we are going to stretch you to get to this number. Does your family deserve it? Do you have kids? See, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And there's nothing that I would not do for them. You should have the same mentality for your life. So what's that number? Okay, now that you have the number, how do you get there? Do some of you know how to get there? More importantly, do some of you know how to teach your team how to get there? What if I came into your business and I put down, I need to make $15,000 a month? How do I do it? And you said, you know what, that's a great question. Am I motivated, or now am I like defeated, going, oh my gosh, this guy's signing me up and he doesn't know how I get to make it. He doesn't know how to make it. How is he going to teach me to make it? Right? That's like me driving from Bakersfield to San Francisco, and I say, how do you get there? And you say, well, you take a right outside the hotel, and then you just kind of go west. True or not? I have a full tank of gas, I'm ambitious, I'm determined to get to San Francisco, but I don't have any direction, I'll never make it.
Right.
So how do you get there? How do you achieve the number that you just wrote on your paper? How do you get there? Right? How do you get there? Yes, it's a roadmap, but if you don't know how you get paid, how many of you would go work for someone? How many of you right now, if Stan Sharrelstein called you up and said, you know what, I'm going to take you out of the field, I want to make you the VPP of Bob Ulrich. You're going to work 85 hours a week, you're going to travel all the time, you're going to do events all the time. When can you start? Would the question be legitimate to say, well, how much would I be compensated? And Stan looked at you and said, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and do it, and you'll see at the end of the month. Is it safe to say that none of us would take that job? Is it safe to say that your job, you wouldn't go to that job, sacrifice and do things if you didn't know how you got paid? So here's the question, why would you do it for your own business? Why would you continue to build Javita if you didn't know how you got paid? Why would you continue to host parties, continue to talk to people, if you don't know how you're getting paid? Is it legit? Is it a good question to ask yourself? If I want to achieve this number, I gotta know how to do it. So I tell my members, yeah, you don't need to know all the compensation plan when you first come in. Your first goal should be get the star, right? But your second should be, how do I get to these positions? How do I start making money? How can I generate the number that I just put down on my paper? And today I hope that I can just shed a little bit of light so that you realize what you have your hands on. That this weekend will be a life-changing weekend that you can say, wow, I can quit my 5th job. I can stay home with my kids. I'll tell you right now, I've been doing home-based business full-time for 11 years. And if you would have told me over 5 years ago, before I had my first child, that trust me, you're going to want to spend every waking moment with those kids, and you don't want to have to answer to anyone, I would have said, well, I don't know how that's a big deal. But today, the lifestyle I get to live because of Javita, the lifestyle that I get to spend with my kids, unmatched. I would do this thing 1,000 times faster. I would do it over and over and over again if I knew what I need today. So I wanted to encourage you guys on that. So let's talk about this, how we get paid in this unbelievable compensation plan. We get paid 12 ways in our compensation plan. 5 times a month. We get paid every Monday, and we get paid every 18th of the month. For those of you that work jobs, how great is it for you to get paid 7 times a month? You get 5 times from Javita and 2 times from your job. 7 times a month, and this 5 times can almost catch up to the 2 times eventually. You're going to get paid 5 times a month, every Monday and every 18th of the month. You get paid 12 different ways. Here's what's lucrative. This last international event, I was absolutely floored and blown away when Stan showed a slide of how much revenue Javita had made and how much they had paid out in the last 4 years. In the last 4 years, Javita made $80 million in revenue. They paid out $39 million to people like you and I to share Javita. That's like almost a 50-50 split. We are only 4 years old. So you know what this computes in my head? Is that when Javita is doing $20 million a month, someone in this room is going to share $10 million that month in their organization to share Javita. Who wants to be part of that $10 million? More importantly, here's the question. How many of you want to override the team that is sharing that $10 million? $20 million, $30 million, $50 million. The last company I came from, they closed out at $900 million at the end of the year. What happens when Javita's at the $900 million mark? Yeah. Can you imagine where your family's going to be? But if you don't recognize that today, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be one of those people that said, I remember when. And you guys know that the pain of discipline is so much less than compared to the pain of regret. Yeah. So don't regret this. So we can pay 12 ways. Let's talk about these. Number 1, retail profit, simplest way. Number 1 thing is that someone can come into business, you can literally get your 14 boxes, you can sell it, and be completely debt-free. Unbelievable. You haven't talked to one person about the opportunity, and yet you are debt-free in your business. And the person, if they are just saying, you know what, I don't want to get a lot of people in my business. I don't want to create distribution. I just want to sell it and make a couple $100 per month. You realize someone can come into business, buy a bulk pack for $250, sell that, and still double their money per month? How many of you could easily sell 10 boxes per month? You could make anywhere from $200 to $400 just by selling boxes of coffee per month. If someone gave you $200 to $300 to $400 per month, would that help you? This is just the first way. So you know what I tell a lot of my members? I say, how much do you want to make? They say $300. I say, okay,